San Francisco, the mid-1960s. A public park at high noon. Families lunch on the grass, children dash between trees, and elders feed pigeons. It is the kind of place where violence would be an absolute disaster. A young man sits alone on a bench reading a newspaper. Black trousers, a white button-down shirt. Simple. Nothing draws attention, nothing announces who he is or what he can do. He is just another Chinese immigrant enjoying a quiet Saturday. The newspaper is in Chinese characters, featuring news from Hong Kong and the local community across the bay. He reads slowly and methodically. Every few moments, he folds the page with precision. His movements are controlled and economical, as if every gesture is exactly what is necessary and nothing more. 50 meters away, a group of 5 men notices him. They are in their 20s, dressed casually but moving with the coordinated energy of a pack, those who find courage in numbers. They aren't gang members in the traditional sense, but they act as if the park is their territory, and as if certain people don't belong there. One of them points at the man with the paper, and says something that makes the others laugh. It is the kind of laughter that isn't about humor. It is a performance of dominance. They begin to walk toward the bench, not in a straight line, but fanning out into an arc to block exit routes without making it obvious. It is the instinctive geometry of intimidation. The man with the newspaper does not look up. He turns another page, folds it, and continues reading. Families are 20 meters away. A mother holds her child's hand. An elderly couple watches the pigeons. This is the worst possible place for what these 5 men have in mind. They get closer, 10 meters away. The leader, the tallest of the group, stops first. The others form a semicircle behind him. Their posture is seemingly relaxed, but their chests are puffed out, the body language of those used to seeing others back down. "Hey!" The voice is loud, designed to claim the acoustic space of the park. "This is a public park, you know." The man with the newspaper does not respond. He turns a page. His eyes move across the columns of text with the same calm as before, as if he is completely alone. The leader takes 3 steps closer, less than 2 meters from the bench. "I'm talking to you." Silence. Only the sound of the wind through the leaves and the distant cry of a playing child. The newspaper rustles slightly in the breeze. The man holds it firm and keeps reading. "My friend is talking to you," another member of the group says, wanting to prove himself. It would be polite to answer. Finally, the man lowers the newspaper. He folds it carefully, once, then twice, and places it on the bench beside him. His movements are slow and deliberate. He stands up, not fast or aggressively, but like someone who has finished his reading and decided to stretch. He is about 5'7", thin and unimposing. The 5 men in front of him are larger, heavier, and outnumber him. The leader likely outweighs him by 40 pounds. Is there a problem? The man's voice is calm. His accent is Chinese, but his English is clear. There is no challenge in his tone, nor is there any fear, just a direct question. "The problem," the leader says, taking another step, "is that I don't like your attitude. You act like you own the place." "I am reading a newspaper in a public park," the man responds simply. "I am not bothering anyone. You're bothering us." One of the mothers notices the situation and begins to lead her child away. An elderly couple exchanges worried glances. The tension is palpable. The air itself feels denser. The man from the bench remains motionless. His hands are at his sides. Nothing in his posture suggests he is preparing to fight. No clenched fists, no shifted weight, no visible tension in his shoulders. He just stands there. "You're not getting out of here," the leader says. There is a finality in his voice, not a hollow threat, but a declaration of intent. The other 4 close the circle, standing a yard and a half away, completely blocking the view from other angles of the park. The leader moves first, a heavy step forward, invading personal space. His chest nearly touches the smaller man's shoulder. It is a classic intimidation tactic, using size to make the other person feel small, to force a retreat, a submission, an acknowledgement of hierarchy. "Look at this," the leader says loudly, turning slightly toward his friends. "He isn't even moving. You think you're tough? You think you can take 5 of us?" One of the others laughs, a forced, nervous sound. He wants this to feel like fun, but his posture suggests he isn't entirely sure how this will end. The man with the newspaper says nothing. His eyes are fixed on the leader, but there is no anger in them, no challenge, only observation. He is like someone checking the weather, noting it might rain, and accepting the information without emotion. "I'm going to give you a chance," the leader continues. "You can apologize for your disrespect. You can admit you came to the wrong park. And maybe we let you go with just a memory of this conversation." Silence. The wind moves the branches above. Leaves spiral down to the grass. The folded newspaper remains perfectly aligned with the edge of the seat. Nothing to say? The leader smiles a cold smile. "Fine, then we do it my way." He turns back to his friends, arms extended in a theatrical gesture. This guy isn't even going to try to defend himself. He's just going to stand there like... His sentence cuts off. Not because of a scream or a visible blow, but because in the half-second it took him to turn his head. The man was simply no longer where he had been. He didn't run or jump. He just existed now a foot to the left, out of immediate reach, out of the line of invasion, yet still within the circle. The leader blinks. His brain needs a second to process the shift. He was busy putting on a show, and when he looked back, the geometry had changed. "Running?" he asks, though uncertainty creeps into his voice. "Are you scared now?" "I am not running." The answer is soft, almost gentle. "I am still here." Another man from the group, on the left, decides to act. He moves faster than expected, his hand shooting forward to grab the smaller man's shoulder to establish physical control. His hand closes around empty air. The man with the newspaper moves again, not far, just enough. The attacker's hand passes where the shoulder was an instant before, and the momentum of the missed grab causes him to stumble. "Stand still!" The attacker growls, frustration mounting. "Stand still and this will be over faster." Why would I want to do that? The question is genuine, as if he is truly interested in the logic. The leader has had enough. He throws a punch. It isn't telegraphed, it is fast for his size. He has experience. The fist travels in a straight line toward the smaller man's jaw, a blow that has ended dozens of fights before. It connects with nothing. It wasn't blocked or parried. The target simply wasn't there when the fist arrived. Now the leader is overextended, his arm fully stretched, his balance compromised and vulnerable. For the first time, a flicker of doubt appears in the leader's eyes. His friends see it too. That moment of confusion when the familiar no longer works. "What the hell?" one starts to say, but stops because they all realize something at once. They have tried 3 different physical actions, and all 3 failed. Not because they were countered, but because the target is not where they think he is. They are fighting a geometry they don't understand and a timing they cannot predict. Everything ends in 6 seconds. The frustrated leader throws a combination, a jab, a cross, and a hook. 3 punches in rapid succession. Street boxing. It always works when an opponent is trapped in a circle with no room to retreat. The first punch hits empty air. The man with the newspaper ducks, not much, just enough. His head is now 6 inches lower and to the left. The second punch misses too, passing by the fabric of his shirt as he rotates his torso. The third punch never finishes. In the half-second between the second and third blow, the man moves, not away but forward, into the space the leader created, inside his guard. The man's right hand, open and not a fist, touches the leader's chest. It isn't a strike. There is no dramatic sound of impact. It is as if he is simply placing his hand there, soft and deliberate. Then, the leader flies backward. He doesn't trip or stumble. He flies. His feet leave the ground. 200 pounds of mass are displaced 10 feet back as if pushed by an invisible force. He lands on his back, the air leaving his lungs in an explosive, guttural sound. His eyes go wide with shock. His diaphragm is paralyzed. He cannot inhale. His brain screams, "Breathe, breathe, breathe," but his body does not respond. The other 4 freeze. No one understands what just happened. They saw a hand touch a chest, and they saw their leader fly. It makes no sense in their experience of how fights work. The youngest recovers his senses first and charges. No technique, just rage. He tries to tackle the smaller man. The man pivots with a simple turn of the hip. The attacker finds only air, and his own momentum carries him to the ground. He scrapes his palms and scrambles up, embarrassed and confused. 2 more move simultaneously from the left and right. Instinctive coordination. If they attack from two angles, he can't dodge both. The man takes a small step toward the one on the left. The attacker, expecting evasion, swings where he thinks the target will be. The man is already behind him. The geometry has shifted again. The second attacker tries to adjust and throws a high kick toward the ribs. It has power, but it is slow. He telegraphs the intent. The man with the newspaper ducks under the kick. While the attacker is on one leg, completely off balance, the man simply pushes an open palm against his hip. Softly, the attacker falls, not struck but unseated. He lands on his backside, stunned. The last man standing, the quietest one, takes 2 steps back. His hands go up, not in a guard, but in a stop gesture. Hey, that's enough. The man from the bench does not pursue. He returns to a neutral stance, hands at his sides, breathing normally. No sweat, no visible effort. The leader finally manages a ragged, painful breath. He sits up, hand to his chest, staring at the man who barely touched him yet sent him soaring. He tries to stand, but his legs are shaking. 6 seconds from the first real movement to the last man on the ground. 6 seconds to dismantle the intimidation of 5 men. The elderly couple is still there far. Ozan. One blinks and turns to his wife. "Did you see that?" "I don't know what I saw," she whispers. The leader stands with difficulty, his pride more wounded than his body. He brushes the grass off his clothes. His friends stand slowly, looking at each other for an explanation they won't find. "This isn't over," the leader says, but his voice wavers. It's what his position requires him to say, but the words ring hollow. The man with the newspaper doesn't even look up. He sits back down, picks up his paper, unfolds it, and finds his place as if the last 2 minutes were a minor interruption. "I'm talking to you," the leader says, but with less conviction. "This isn't over." The man finally speaks without looking away from the text. "You tried to intimidate me, it didn't work. You tried to attack me, it didn't work. Now you can leave, or I can call that couple over there to be witnesses when the police arrive. Your choice." The youngest of the 5 touches the leader's shoulder. "Let's go, man. This is weird. This guy's weird. Just let's go." The group walks away, slowly at first to maintain some dignity, then faster. When they are 50 meters away, one of them looks back. The man is still reading, alone on his bench, as if nothing happened. "What the hell was that?" the youngest asks. "I don't know," the leader admits. His chest still aches. He doesn't understand how a soft push threw him 10 feet. "You think it was like karate?" It didn't look like karate. He didn't make any moves. He just wasn't there, and then he was, and then I was on the ground. They leave the park, in silence. Later that night in a bar, one of them will try to tell the story, but he'll stop because he doesn't know how to finish the sentence. "There was this Chinese guy, and when we tried to, well, nothing happened. It just didn't go how we expected. He didn't really hit us. He just moved, and we were on the floor." It sounds stupid when I say it out loud. 2 of the 5 will never speak of it again. It is too embarrassing, too impossible to explain without sounding crazy. But the leader will carry it differently. For weeks, he will replay those 6 seconds. The moment his best combination hit air, the moment the soft touch sent him flying, he will start to notice things. He'll see movements in films that once seemed fake but now seem possible. 3 months later, he will walk into a dojo. When the instructor asks why he's there, he'll say, "I saw something once that I didn't understand. I want to understand it." The man with the newspaper finishes his article, folds the paper, and walks toward the exit. His gait is normal, unhurried. The elderly couple watches him pass. The husband gives a small nod of respect. The man returns the gesture with a brief smile and keeps walking. No one else in the park knows what happened. Life goes on. 5 men entered that park believing numbers meant victory and size meant dominance. They found that those assumptions were paper that disintegrates upon contact with someone operating under different principles. True power does not announce its presence. It doesn't need an audience or raised voices. It is quiet, contained, revealed only if necessary. And when it is revealed, it isn't with spectacular violence, but with economy and precision. 6 seconds were all that was needed, not to destroy, but to end a situation that never should have begun. The man with the newspaper knew that in a real fight, speed isn't about how fast you move, but how quickly you can be where your opponent doesn't expect you. Strength isn't about how hard you hit, but how much energy you can transfer when the opponent's system cannot absorb it. And victory isn't about leaving 5 people unconscious, it's about ending the confrontation so that no one needs a doctor and the afternoon remains quiet. The man returns to his small gym to teach students who want to learn more than just punches. They want to learn principles. He will never tell this story. There is no ego to feed. It was just a Saturday. It was just a lesson taught in exactly 6 seconds.